Welcome to Your Moving Mind, where we talk about mindful movement, small habits that make you a better person, how to learn, change and grow, and how to express ourselves fully in body, mind and spirit. Your Moving Mind with your host, Michael Landau. Slowing down to attend to the details of your sensory experience gives you tools to explore the space between intention and action. Moshe Feldenkrais. That space is where any learning, change, or growth occurs. The space between stimulus and response. The space between thought and action. We're often blind to that space. It can be really small, and we must slow down and zoom in just to notice it. That's what mindfulness does. That's why mindfulness is a prerequisite for any learning, change, or growth. When you meditate, you open a space between your thoughts and the response to them. You notice your thoughts forming and bubbling up, and you take your time to notice them, and by slowing down, you create a choice. You can follow a thought, or you can let it go. When you go to therapy, you open a space between your life's events and your reaction to them, between stimulus and emotion. You slow down and take a look at the stories you tell yourself about your life. You slow down enough to see those stories as what they are, stories. You slow down and you create choice. You can take that story less seriously. You can tell yourself a different story. You are no longer one with the story. Your life events aren't you. Your reaction to your life events aren't you either. You are free to choose otherwise. But if you never slow down enough to notice that the story is just a story, you don't have that freedom. Your reactions, your emotions, your suffering, your victimhood, they're all part of your reality, and you feel you can't do anything about them. I know it because it happens to me all the time. I feel unheard, I feel overlooked, I feel invisible. And it feels like this is the way the world treats me, and there's nothing I can do about it, is there? It's not me, it's them. This is, of course, a story I tell myself, and I have a choice in the matter. But to notice that choice, which is a necessary first step before choosing, otherwise, I must slow down, zoom in, open that gap before the emotional reaction. Sometimes I manage to do it, and then I become free. I can tell myself another story, and I can change what is in my power to change. To be heard, maybe I must communicate differently. To be seen, I probably should show up in a different way. By opening that gap between stimulus and response, I create choice, freedom. We do the same with movement in the Feldenkrais method. This is what Feldenkrais is talking about. This is what I teach. It's the same space, the same gap in relation to movement, to action. You slow down, you zoom in, you notice the tiny details of your sensations. You open that space between intention and action. And this is how you create choice. It is especially important when trying to do something new or unfamiliar, or when you don't get the results you expect. When that happens, we feel like a failure, we get frustrated, we try again. We do the same thing, only faster, clumsier. When we're frustrated, we tend to be less precise, less careful, and we end up with an even bigger mess. This is the time to slow down. Look at the details. Go small and pay attention. Attend to the details of your sensory experience. That is, look closely at reality, not at your reaction to it, not at the failure, not at your judgment, not at your frustration. What is actually there? What is it that you're actually doing, and what could you do a tiny bit differently? And you start creating choice. You can change small details, you can explore, you can experiment. If your intention doesn't translate into the result you want, you should probably do something different. To do something different, you must have a choice. That's what we create by opening the gap between stimulus and response, between intention and action. We create choice, we become free. This is where change, learning, and growth become possible.